They are a huge threat. We've seen this awful murder of the journalist Mr. Foley, and this is going to continue. They've got no rule book at all. They are beyond awful, and they've got to be confronted. Otherwise, they were going to continue to expand their influence, and they will expand their territory. So they've got to be confronted. They've got to be confronted with modern weapons, and we've got to know who we can support. And currently, it looks as if we can support the Kurdish Peshmerga, and we should do so.
Thank you.
It seems as if we have been here before with disastrous results, then discover history does indeed repeat itself. Oil fields in northern Iraq have been seen burning. ISIS fighters retreat in the face of Kurdish attacks and leave behind scorched earth and billowing black clouds. The war against ISIS is indeed a war about many things, but certainly also oil. That means money. And one avenue to stop these killers that would seem simple, but could be infinitely more difficult than just putting tanks on the ground and aiming guns at the enemy, is go after the cash. Welcome to MidPoint. Wall Street financier, author, lobbyist, oil and gas trader, president and CEO of Blackhawk Partners, Ziad Abdelnour joins us. Ziad, thank you so much for being here today.
My pleasure.
I'd like to start you off, first of all, when we get to the oil, to talk about what has happened in Syria. A group of hackers taking down the website of Syria's only stock exchange, threatening to leak the database unless the president, Bashar al-Assad, takes military action against the Islamic State. How much of a threat is this? What could they hope to gain from it?
Well, this is not enough. This is a global war. Let me give you some perspective first, okay? We're dealing here with a dictator who killed 150,000 of his people. He's working in cahoot with ISIS. They are on the same side of the coin. Hezbollah, Syria, ISIS, all the same. He's not going to learn it the easy way. You know, going cyber warfare against a stock exchange is not enough. We should go through every bank. We should totally dismantle their methods of communications. Both ISIS and Syria, they are one and the same. I'm not talking about boots on the ground. I'm talking about effective attack on cybersecurity, on the banks, on the oil field, on the food tracks, on everything. This is how you totally dismantle them and cripple them. You have to cripple them. And you can cripple them and cripple their resources. Look, it's all about natural resources, financial resources, and other resources. Today is the age of commodities. The one who controls the commodities runs everything. They realize this. Look, they started ISIS and the terrorists, etc., with the Arab oil embargo in '73. I'm talking about going back to 9/11, to now we have to then the Taliban, and now we have this. Every time, every step of the way, the stakes are increasing. It's going more and more aggressive. So we have to go for a counterattack and be very aggressive about it.
Is this not being aggressive about it, though, if you look at this? Because this is indeed financial that we're talking about here. So is this part of the war that is necessary? Granted, of course, these are hackers, but is this, in essence, maybe the way to go after ISIS, to get to Syria, to get to their bank accounts, and to get to the money?
Yes, this is one way of, the military is not enough. It has to go military, economic, political, diplomatic, everything, on all fronts. We have to go after every single resource they have. And the resources they have are pretty much limited compared to our resources, compared to what we have, compared to the intelligence that we've gathered. That's exactly right. This hacker should serve as an example. We should dismantle all their methods of communications, all their control of all resources, financial resources. The banks who accept the money, the ISIS money or the Syrian money, should be shut down or banned. The oil fields should be burned. This is not going to affect the world markets if you burn this oil. They control a very small part.
Excuse me, just 1 minute here, but are you talking about burning the oil fields in Syria?
Yes, and whatever oil fields that ISIS controls in Iraq, it's not going to affect world markets. I'm an oil guy. This has already been factored in oil prices. It's not going to create anything. We have in the US to develop our own resources, the Keystone Project, strategic reserves, etc. be less and less reliant on Middle East oil, and whoever comes with stuff like that, we actually burn their oil resources.
All right, so
Simple.
let me try to understand something here and maybe ask a question on this. If we then were to go in and follow your plan and burn the oil fields in Iraq, would we then not be destroying what economy Iraq has potentially when they recover and when ISIS is taken out of that country?
Look, in this country, we tend to analyze too much. At the end of the day, the key right now is to win the war. This is a war with huge stakes. We're not fighting an organization. We're fighting a state that has $4 billion, that gets $2-3 million a day from selling oil only, in addition to extortion, etc. They take around $15 million a day. We're talking about people who basically saying, I'm telling you one thing, and mark my word, they're saying the first 2,000 years were run by the Judeo-Christian civilization. Now, it's our turn. This is how they are keen on taking power. And they will ally with the devil, the Shiite, the Russians, whoever, and mark my words, to basically make a statement and one thing. This is very, very dangerous.
I only have about 60 seconds left, so let me get to this with about 60 seconds left. On top of what you are saying, to go in and burn out these, to destroy these oil wells now, to take away the money from ISIS, what else, very quickly, if you would, and succinctly, needs to be done in order to stop the money? And you're talking about going up against Syria. What's the next step? A logical step.
We're going to have to go through so much fun, with so many fronts. We're going to have to go talk to the Saudis, talk to the Qataris. We have a U.S. base in Qatar. Stop funding, stop backing them, turn off the spigot, go after cyber warfare, go even after EMP, electromagnetic pulse, whereby you throw something there and you put off all their computers, or you totally dislocate them.
Any reason to believe, though, that countries like Saudi Arabia and Qatar would actually listen to us and do it?
Well, you know what? You have to give them no alternative. There's no choice anymore. This is a choice. This is a war for survival. They don't have. They have no other options. I mean, we have to be firm about it. And you know what? At the end of the day, I believe they're going to side up with us rather than with ISIS.
And unfortunately, that's going to have to be the last word, because we are all out of time. Mr. Abdelnour, please come back again, because it seems like we have an awful lot still to talk about. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
All right, coming up next, right here on MidPoint, learning a lesson from Pete Rose.